and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about and a remove not a remove one zone Hello everyone and welcome to a new video here in my channel. If you're new, hi and welcome. I'm Ra. I'm very happy to be here. If you're not new, you already know me. Hi, welcome back to a new video here in my channel. For today, I am going to be showing you and telling you everything about my favorite books of the year. I love talking about the things that I love and my favorites on things. Because of that, in today's video, we're going to be talking about every single book that I gave 5 stars this year. This is going to be my 5-star recap. I hope you are excited to the video. If you are, like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you get notified when I post a brand new video on Friday. And now, let's begin with the video because I have not quite a few books. I have a couple of books that I want to talk about, but I have a lot of things to say about them. So let's begin with the video. I am a very harsh rater. I consider myself a very harsh rater because after a long time reading and after reading for so long, I have developed a critical thought, and when I read a book that is not good, I can tell. When I read a book that is amazing, I can also tell. And, when I read a book that is good, but it's not that amazing or that bad, I can, kind of put it in the, scale from 1 to 5 stars pretty decently, because, again, I've read quite a lot, so I know what makes a book be a good book and what makes a book be not a good book. And what makes a book be a mid book, a normal, decent book. And for today, I'm going to be talking to you about the books that I gave 5 stars this year, because there were a couple of them, as you can tell here. And I want to talk about all of them to you because I love them, and I'm going to be, thinking about these books and talking about these books for, forever, for the rest of my life, because they are so important to me. They impacted me and impacted my life so much that I want to share with you, and I want to talk to you about all of them, starting with Maurice by E.M. Forster. This book I read for one of my modules that I have last year on my degree. I do an English degree, and I had a module last year about contemporary literature, and this was the first book that I read for that module. It is Maurice. Side note, I love this copy specifically. I love this copy because this copy is from the library, a library from West Sussex. I don't know if you can see it, but it's amazing here. And I love that because now that I live in England, because I'm studying there now, for this year, I kind of know where that is, and it's so exciting. But yeah, I read this book for that module, and this is a very cool, dark academia vibes story about a guy that is called Maurice. He is a very normal dude. He's just a normal white man, but what makes him special is that he's gay. During a period of time where being gay or being, part of the LGBTQ community was not, possible, because you would get, so that's kind of, what the book's about him being gay and not being able to be gay, publicly. He meets this guy called Clive when he goes to Cambridge to study. We don't like Clive, okay? If you want to read this book, just know Clive is not the good guy. Okay, we don't like Clive. He's not good, but we love this book, and it is a beautiful gay story in Cambridge. It's very dark academia, and you can see how toxic life is, because Maurice starts to just talk and see life through Clive's eyes instead of himself, and it is very heartbreaking at the same time how he treats his family, his friends and stuff. And it is a beautiful story during a period of time where it was not possible to be gay, because you, again, would go to prison and a lot of things. And it is great. I love this book. I love my specific copy. It is so great. I gave it 5 stars. It was just so amazing. And I loved studying this and talking about this book to my friends, because my friends and I, we were all reading it, and we were like, what's going on with this? And about that, and we were just all commenting it, and that's what I love about literature and about books, that you can just talk about books with other people, and share your thoughts and feelings, and it can be they can be the same, they don't have to be the same, but it is just so amazing. I love it. So this is the first book that I gave 5 stars this year, and the next one was also for the same module. I read this, and it is this book. This is Agatha Christie's 10 listening years. It is also called and then there were none. It depends on the on the edition you have and stuff. And I'm gonna put this back here, okay? The editions, and it depends, but the book is Tell Us Niggas by Agatha Christie. I love this copy because this was my dad's, and this was the book that got me to read. And I've been talking about this book for ages. Like, I've read this like last year, I think, as well, and I also talked about it on my 5-star read, like my 5-star books video. I think I did one last year, and I think I talked about it. But the thing is, I love this book. I've talked about this book a couple of times on my channel because this book got me into reading. Because of this book, now I have an obsession with fictional characters and fictional stories, and I want to have a love life like the books I read, and all of it. It started with this one. That's why this book is also very important to me. And this story is about 10 people. They get a letter from someone they don't know, is anonymous, and they have to go to this like island where there's this big castle, and they have to just go there, and all of them are there for different reasons, but none of them know who invited them. And the thing is, each of them starts dying one by one. So at one point, when they figure out that all of them are dying each night, they have to figure out who the killer is before all of them end up dead. And it is such an amazing story with the great plot twist. Like, I read it for the second time for this module, and because I already knew what happened at the end, I was not surprised. But even after reading it, even with that, like, even with this being my second time reading it, I was still so obsessed with it. It's just so amazing, and I will always recommend Agatha Christie. I love her. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. I love this book, and this copy again is very close to my heart, and I would die before someone tries to steal this. Like, if this book gets on fire or I lose it, I would probably die and cry for ages, because this is has such an important, like, this is one of my Horcruxes. Do you know, do you know how in Harry Potter, Voldemort created 7 Horcruxes that if you kill them all, if you destroy them all, the person dies? This is one of them. Oh, I should make a video with, like, the Horcrux, like, which books are my Horcrux books. Oh my god, that's a great idea. I'm gonna note that down when I finish this. But yeah, this is just such an important book to me that I need to have it, and I will always reread it for forever, and I will probably always love it, and I will always talk about it because it's so important to me. After this, I didn't give any book 5 stars until summer, and then summer got by. I started reading while I was at work, because in case you don't know, I work at a summer, like, at a pool, and I worked like at the door, so there's a lot of times that there's no one or that I have nothing to do, so during that time I read. And this summer, one of the books I read like 30 books. I have a video, like, every single book I read this summer, recap kind of thing. I will put it on the eye. This summer I read Powerless, and this book was a 5 star for me. I didn't expect, it was almost not a 5 star, it was going to be a 4.75, but then the end made me, oh yeah, this has to be a 5 star. This lovely story about, like, it's a fun romantasy, but it's not that much romance, it's more like fantasy. It is kind of like, I remember reading, I was like, oh, this gives me like Hunger Games vibes, but better, and it has like dragons. It's just so amazing. I think it had dragons. I don't remember properly. No, it wasn't. It's not. Don't call me out with the dragons. That's not it. But it is a beautiful story, and the main character has to, like, going to these games, kind of like in the Hunger Games. But she has to pretend she's from from a group of people that she's not, so she doesn't get killed. And it is so good. I love the tension between the girl and the main guy, Kai. Like, the main girl is called Payton and the guy is called Kai. So I love the relationship they have, but I really like how tense it is and how it's like, I love it. I have to read the second and the last book and the novella. I have to read everything else, but this book was so amazing. I loved it so much. And again, the ending was what got me to be a 5 star, because everything was great, but the ending was like, oh my god, this is such a great book, it has to be a 5 star. And I love the cover. I remember buying it, and my mom was like, all of your books are like not actual, like, they're like literature, but they're not like, good literature, like That's what my mom thinks, but she's always like, that is true, like all your books are not that classic or like that literary books, but all the covers are so pretty. And I'm like, I know, that's why I love my books, because I try to get the books that have pretty covers, because I love, like if I have to get a book, I'd rather have it with like a pretty cover, because why would I not want to have a pretty cover in my shelf, you know? Why not? And then guys, I didn't give any books 5-star again until like 3 weeks ago when I finished this amazing book that I'm so excited to talk to you about because it is just so amazing. And it is this book. This is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I read this, I saw this at Waterstones and it was like 20% off, and I'm like, buy, like books, like I need it. And it is so beautiful. I love my cover. I don't like hardcovers as much anymore, but this cover is just so pretty. I don't care. It is so good. I love it, love it, love it. And this book, I talked about it for like a month. All my like friends from my accommodation, they were all like, oh, what is this book about? And I was always talking about it. I was like, oh, I'm reading my chess book. And they're like, oh yeah, how are you? How is it? And I'm like, so good. I was so obsessed with it, and that's why I figured it was 5-star. Because if I cannot just shut up about the book, it's because it's 5-star. And this book is about two brothers. One of them is a lawyer, and the other one is a very genius, chess player. And their father died, and they have to figure out their lives and like manage their lives and their love stories and everything while they try to, process the grief of losing a dad. And as someone who has lost a dad, like my dad, I know what it is, and I felt it so close to my heart. And I have to say, the chess player, that's my favorite. I read him, I was like, oh my god, this is my man. And I have a reading vlog reading this book. I will put it on the eye so you can watch it if you want. But it is so amazing. It was so fast. The chapters are a bit long, but like it's fine. Like you can just read it through incredibly easy. I love Sally Rooney. She's one of my favorite authors. She will always be, and I love my copy. I have to say, like, it is just very pretty cover. That is broken, I'm sorry, but it is so pretty. I loved it, and this is the last 5-star that I gave this year. I read a lot of books this year, and you will have the recap of like the books I read soon. I think this week you will have it, if not this week, at the beginning of next week, but you will have it soon. And you will see there how many books I read this year, and I'm gonna be, you will see what I'm gonna do with that, but I'm gonna tell you everything about like my recap, like my book recap. I will tell you about my reading challenge. I will like my stats and everything on that video. But I read so many books, and the fact that I only gave 4 books 5 stars shows how harsh I am and how hard for me it is to actually find a book that is so good that I have to rate it for 5 stars. And these are all the books that I want to talk about, because these are the books that I gave 5 stars this year. Again, there's only 5. Why? Because I'm a very harsh reader and rater, as you can see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when I post a brand new video, and I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed.